Hello, Floss Tube. It is 80 degrees here in Lehi, Utah, and July 6th, which is my daughter's big 4-0 birthday. I was going to tease her, but then I thought, I'm kind of sticking my own foot in my mouth by doing that because that means I'm a whole lot older too. So I don't want to acknowledge that too much, so I won't give her a hard time. Anyway, she's having a good time down south in St. George on a party in a trip that her husband took her to. So anyway, but I can't believe that's my middle one, and so that means I have an older one that already turned 40, and I have a younger one that's going to reach 40 pretty soon, and I don't want to think about things like that. So anyway, I'll go on and say, I'm Colette the Highway Stitcher, and I'm here to bring you my stitching from the highway at home, and we will not discuss age things right now anymore. Anyway, some highway updates. I was at StitchCon, of course, so that, and I already discussed all that in my StitchCon experience video. So any of my highway updates now are pretty much local. We had a great 4th of July. We spent time with the grandkids quite a bit. I got to go see my daughter Julie. I posted some pictures. She works at on a historic railroad called the Heber Valley Historic Railroad, or otherwise called the Heber Creeper, in Utah here, and she gets to play music, play on her violin as a fiddle for bluegrass music, and really enjoys that a lot and gets paid for it. What a thing to get paid for. Anyway, she got a chance to, we got a chance to see her play on the 4th of July in the morning, and that was a great experience. She is really enjoying herself and having a good time. And it was fun to see her. We videotaped her and, talked to her afterwards, and really pleased with just how she's doing. She's just a sweet girl, and so proud of her and everything she does. Later on, we went to see Toy Story. We hadn't seen it yet, Toy Story 4, and I took the grandkids, my grandkids Luke and Sophie, and Julie came along with us too, and that was a great movie. I'd highly suggest it. It was so much fun. A few little teary parts that, little sad parts, but it was great. Another great Toy Story. And yesterday, Chris and I went to a concert. It's called Roots to Boots concert. We're quite avid country music fans, and we like classic country as well as the new country. And this particular Roots to Boots concert was 3 performers from the 90s. Sammy Kershaw, Aaron Tippin, and Colin Ray. And three of some of my favorite country music stars. And the concert was up in the mountains at an inside auditorium, probably about an hour and 15 minutes away from here. And it was just beautiful up there, beautiful setting, great concert, lots of fun, and just great all around. So that's somewhat of what's been going on this last week since I got back from StitchCon. And so anyway, we're going to go on to all of the stuff that I need to do for showing you for whips, for finished objects, for fully finished objects. I've got FFOs, I got FOs, I've got whips. I got a little bit of haul that came before I went to StitchCon, and also a little bit of lace. So anyway, settle back, and I'll start showing you all the stuff I got. Anyway, I'm going to show you some FOs first, which I posted already on Instagram. So I'll show them to you here. I finally finished the Cross Stitch Girl. This is X is for Cross Stitch, and it's by Sweetheart Tree. They have a set of the alphabet, and the X one I picked up as a sale item at a store that was going out of business, probably a good 15 years ago, a needlework store. Put it aside and never worked on it until now, and I decided I needed to work on it because either I needed to work on it or get rid of it, one or the other. So anyway, I opted to put it on as a Stitch 9 challenge, and I'm glad I persevered. Didn't enjoy it, but now that it's done, I really like it. There's some beads in there, some specialty stitches, some back stitch. And this is on, this was a kit, but I know it's on like a 28 count. probably a natural linen with called for threads. So that makes stitch 9 number 6 done. And here comes stitch 9 finish number 7. Oh wait, that was stitch 9 number 7. This is stitch 9 finish number 8, and I have 2 more left. This is Bow Leggy in the Desert by Ink Circles. Mr. Leggy is done on 28 count, dove gray even weave with the called for DMC colors. And this has been an irritating day because my microphone is not working and I just barely bought it. So I'm talking loud into my iPad hoping that that works until I get another microphone or a replacement. And not only that, I was going to show you the companion to Bow Leggy here, who is Calamity Pippi on her horse. And I cannot find Calamity Pippi anywhere. So it's an irritating day. But anyway, I can at least show you Bow Leggy. He's my next stitch 9 finish, number 8 down. I now have 2 stitch 9s left to go, and I'll show you those in my whips to show you how I've come on my progress on them. Okay, last week at StitchCon, I picked up some of the sulky thread that some people have been using. I got a patriotic set. There's a few more in there besides these, but I just brought these out to show. And this is where you can use the one thread, and it covers 28, 32 count. It probably covers 32 a little better. But I found a Ada opalescent blue, overdyed blue that I decided just to use for it. And so I didn't pull it too terribly tight, the threads, so that it would look better. And working on this project with the sulkies. And I think it's turned out pretty good. This is a freebie pattern. I can't show you the pattern because that's all it's got. There's not a picture. So the picture is taking shape on my my linen, excuse me. It's called United Stitchers of America by Needle Bling. So that sulky thread's turning out real well, I think. Okay, that's my number 1 whip that I'm working on, trying out the sulky threads. Number 2 is my sister's whip in progress, which is a stitch 9. I did find the pattern. So it's actually by Imaginating, called Childhood Sisters, designed by Ursula Michaels. At least it gives you an idea of the pattern designer and something of what the colors that they used for it. I'm stitching it on a 28 count mystery linen. It's probably some kind of antique white. I'm not using the called for colors because I'm stitching it for my sister. And she likes other colors, so I'm actually stitching it in the colors that she likes. I finished some more of the letters, the words. I finished the A Sister Is, and the yellow border on the side I started. So I'm progressing along on this. See if there's anything else on this one to say. I said it was 28 count. Nope, that's it. I just changed the colors for it, and that's the particular pattern, so at least you can see it. Because I never had the pattern. I thought I'd lost it, but I did find it. My third whip, I did a little bit of work on, and it's our Utah Saturday Stitchers are doing a couple stitch-alongs, and this is the one that I'm participating in. And it's Pink Sparrow by With Thy Needle and Thread. It's being stitched on Picture This Plus Fog, 28 count. And it's with most of the called for colors. I did have to change that to blue there, blue-green, because it wasn't dark enough for this fabric, but the rest of it is working out fine. And I really like how the colors are showing up on this fog. And it's even prettier in person. I've had a lot of comments from people. Brenda at Hamburg Maniac, she said, she goes, oh, I want to do that now. She said before she wasn't interested in it because the pattern looks very dark. It's like on a very dark fabric. And she really liked it on this fog, and I do too. I did probably this last week or so. I brought it to StitchCon, but of course hardly put any stitches in at all. But this week I finished up this little urn with the plants. I had started it, finished it up. Also started this area over here, and that's the sparrow's tail and some other flower work, and then of course this little bit down here. So that's what I got done this week. So that's coming along. Oops, Mayflower landed on the floor. Okay, now my next Stitch 9 challenge piece that I'm working on is Mayflower Landing, which I brought to StitchCon. Most everybody's seen this. I've been showing this for quite a while. It's on 28 count, picture this plus oaken, with all the called for floss, which is some overdyes and some DMC. The last time I showed it, none of the ship was done. I had finished the waves and was getting ready to work on the ship. And actually, since there was a lot of fill-in, this was one thing I was able to get quite a few stitches, considering all the talking we did at StitchCon. I got quite a few stitches in this because I had outlined the area of the brown for the ship, some of it, and so I was able to just fill it in and talk. When I came home, I worked on that little bird and the little pilgrim sitting in the ship and some of the other part of the ship. So I'm getting pretty excited. This is moving along, and I should be getting close to a finish pretty soon if I get more stitching time on it. And then the last piece that I worked on, I only worked on it the Sunday before StitchCon because I didn't want to bring it to StitchCon because I don't like to work on 40 count when I'm at an event because I always have to frog. Anyway, so this is a Savior's Praise by Shakespeare's Peddler that I've been working on every Sunday for my Sunday stitching. I finished the urn over here and all the flowers that are in it. And I also finished 2 letters, I believe D and E. So that wasn't too bad for Sunday stitching for a couple hours. And this is stitched on 40 count Lakeside Linen Bittersweet with the called for DMC conversion. Okay, next I'm going to go into my haul. So not the StitchCon haul, but the haul that I got when I was gone from StitchCon, or gone at StitchCon. I received my Color and Cotton monthly floss. I get the brights and also the primitives. So here we go. These are the brights. Some beautiful colors here. So pretty. So I'm really working on getting my Color and Cotton all built up. These are the primitive colors. Very nice also. I also was on Stash Unload before I left for StitchCon. And there was someone selling some silk weaver fabric, some dyed fabric. And the price was really good, so I just decided, oh, okay, I'll go ahead and do Me Please. So anyway, this is a 28 count Lugana, a green. Very pretty. Just a little bit of modeling on it, just really nice for a piece that you don't want to like have the modeling overtake the pattern itself. Just a very, very pretty green piece. This is 17 by 26, a quarter yard. And then also I got from the same person some Lavender Bliss 32 count silk weaver, even weave. And this is really nice too. This is a half a yard, with just a little bit of modeling, and just a like a slight lavender color. This isn't quite showing up as good. It's a little darker than that. Just a really nice pretty lavender. So that was my haul. Oh, one more thing. Can't forget this. My daughter Julie got me for Mother's Day. She's so funny. She is really smart about finding out things that I like and everything, and she must have talked to Chris. Anyway, she ordered something for me, and she goes, I'm so sorry that this came so late for Mother's Day, but she said, I thought she would like it. She ordered me my own water bottle with highway stitcher on it. Get a load of that. I love it. She had them put highway stitcher on it. And I didn't even know she even knew anything I was doing. Chris probably told her. So it's my big water bottle with highway stitcher. So I'll be using this whenever I'm sitting here, since I'm a water drinker, and enjoying it proudly. So thank you so much, Julie. I don't know if you watch my videos, but love you, daughter. Love you, love you. And thanks for this wonderful mug. Okay, that is all the haul. And next we're going to go on to finished objects. Finally finished. Because I say finally finished instead of fully finished on this one. After years and years and years, I'm working on this sampler. It is finally done. All the way done. I'm going to have to move back here. And let's see if I can show it good. This is my Wisdom sampler from Vermilion Stitchery. I probably started it a good 10 years ago. Got out of stitching for a while. I mean, I was still stitching, but I was just really involved in my bobbin lace. So I was getting more lace done than I was getting stitching. Then a few years ago, I discovered Floss Tube and retreats and everything else, and got back into stitching quite a bit. So the last few years are what I got, how I got most of this done. It is stitched on 32 count. It probably is antique white linen. It's with the called for DMC, with a lot of blended threads, some specialty stitches also. We have some queen stitches down there and some satin stitches. A lot of back stitch and a lot of blended stitch. But I do love how it turned out with the, with the blended stitches as well as the bright colors. I like primitive style samplers, but I also do love bright samplers. I just think that they've got a charm all their own. So that's why I really love this one. And Jill Rensel framed this, and Jill and Amber and her crew, and did such a wonderful job. I just love the painting around here. It just sets off this piece just perfect, and the color frame. So thank you to Jill. Thank you to all my Utah Saturday Stitchers for cheering me on and keeping me going with this piece too, so that I could finally get it finished. And just love this piece. So put this heavy thing down without getting it wrecked out. Back against here. My other finished object is beading, and I finished Julie's necklace. And I had showed that last week, but I also finished the bracelet too. Bracelet, I have a little button clasp there that's kind of cute. Let's show it. I like to pick up antique buttons places and use them for my beading. So this will go to her when she gets back from her trip. We're going to take her out shopping for her birthday, and I'll give them to her then. So that's also an FFO, finally finished. I'm going to move on to bobbin lace now and show you what I've been working on, and also tell you show you a particular blast from the past too. I think my arms are going to hurt after this video, holding up that Wisdom Sampler finished frame, and now I'm going to be holding up one of my wood block pillows, lace pillows, and this is heavy too. I'm not even sure if I'm going to be able to get this in the picture. I've gone back to working on this. This is going to be a lace made scarf. It's worked on this block pillow. Block pillows, the reason why they call them that is you can see the different square blocks, and you can move the blocks around and then move the pattern piece up so that you can keep making a longer piece of lace, which in this case I have to do because it's going to be a scarf. I'm going to rest it on here and see if you can see what little I've done. Here's some of it that's already been pulled off the pillow and is back behind the pillow that I worked on. So, and what I do with this is I roll it up on a piece of like a wood dowel, and then it can hang and then pin it, and then I can keep rolling up it as I keep moving the pattern up, so it can make a really long piece of lace. So this is a Valdani thread, a size 12 thread. I did a sample piece, a little square, and I liked the drape and the color of it. It was really, really nice, so that's why I decided to work with that. And some of it is just a solid, like a lavender, and the other is like a variegated lavender that I'm mixing together. So this is a long-term project, of course. It's got a long ways to go. But you just keep moving as I move down the pattern. As I move down the pattern, then when I get down here to the bottom, then all I do is unpin my lace that I already did up near the top, roll it onto the dowel, and then I take off the pattern piece that's been worked on, and then I slip a new pattern piece up and connect it, pin it on. And then I can do that by moving these blocks around too. So that's how you work one of these long pieces of lace. So that's the lace I've been working on. All this heavy stuff. I'm going to be taking pain pills after this. Blasts from the past. This is one of my first beaded necklaces I did several years ago. Let's see if I can show this. It's a lot better on this white because it shows up a little better. Shows it better. It's not cooperating. Anyway, each one of these little circles is made separately, and then they're sewed together. And the top part is sewn all together with the beads. Let's see how it looks when I just hold it up here. You can see a different perspective of it. It's not easy to see, but it was really fun to work on. The only thing is I'm not a big fan of components. These are called components in beading. Components are made separately and then sewn on to the next component until you get up here where this is all done together. the reason why I don't like them is sort of the reason why people don't like granny squares, because you know, you've got to keep connecting them. And if you don't connect them as you go, then you have all these squares or all these components in the case of the beads that you've got to add, you've got to sew together at the end. And I'm one sort of like backstitching at the end. I like to do it as I go, because if I don't do it as I go, I just get so tired of it. I just get such burnout to sew all the pieces together. So that's how I am kind of with component beaded necklaces or bracelets. But they're a little easier because at least there's usually only about 10 or 12 components compared to granny square, where you know you have like dozens of the squares to connect together. So that is a little better. Plans. I'm going to work on Savior's Praise tomorrow. It's Sunday, so it will be brought out tomorrow and worked. And next Sunday also. My other plans are pretty much to concentrate on my Stitch 9, my last 2 Stitch 9 pieces. I'm just on a roll now, and I want to get them done. And, you know, be able to say that I completed the challenge. And I'll have a little bit of Pink Sparrow mixed in there so that I'll be a good Utah Saturday stitcher and work on my, my sal with them. So it's pretty much Savior's Praise on Sunday, Mayflower and Childhood, Sisterhood, and Pink Sparrow. I want to tell everybody that thanks for subscribing. I appreciate it. I've had a lot of subscribers in the last week. I hope I have something for you that you want to see and that you enjoy my videos. And I hope this turns out loud enough, since I don't have a mic that works right now. I tend to be eclectic. I like all different kinds of patterns and lace. Patterns and lace, both. I like doing all kinds of bobbin lace, and I also like to do all kinds of patterns with stitching. I like the old ones. I like the newer ones. I like prim. I like samplers. I like, on the other side of the spectrum, Satsuma and all of those. And I also like the old designs, Cooler and Dimensions in the kits. So if something catches my eye, I do like it. So anyway, if you like that kind of stuff, come join me. And Floss Tube is really doing what I really originally wanted to do. It's keeping me accountable on my projects. I've really been working a lot more on my projects and getting a lot done. And so it's meeting my needs with that. But also it's giving me the opportunity to meet more stitchers, more new stitchers, ones that I wouldn't have even known. And that's really, really a plus to me. I just love that. To all you new subscribers and all the new stitchers I met at StitchCon, and also just along the way on Instagram, are just kind, wonderful people. And just want to thank you and tell you I love you all. And remember to look for the beauty all around you. Look for the beauty on the highway and on the home, because it's there, and I know you'll see it if you look for it. And love you all. Happy stitching to everybody, and I'll see you probably in a week or two. Bye.